How you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Guess what? When you come here, you get the usher. I had to shut down the last live and then retype everything and re-upload again, darling dears. So we're going to press on, darling dears. We'd already shaken the dice. And the dice has landed on the number 11, darling dears, master number. But 11 is also represented by the 11th house in astrology of groups, darling dears. They're all watching you. And the 11th house is also telling us that they're looking at how you make your money, darling dears. They're looking at your business contracts. They're trying to see whom you're associating yourself with, who you are, what? Who is squiring you around town, or who are you squiring? We've got the energy. Your head is on the one, darling dear. So we're going to go with the one. It's represented by the north, darling dears. Why? Because the north remembers. But I like to think of it as your north node, darling dears. This is a Chinese numerology, a low shoe grid. The energy of the one speaks about what? Your purpose, darling dears. Your life path. You are on target. Being what? All you can be, darling dears. All you can be. And they're mad. They're really mad. No, they're not mad. Do you remember the days when they drove you to fury, bestie? Do you remember? Well, guess what? Same this, and no back to you. Yeah. As I was saying, the energy of the one is represented by water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, darling dears. Your north node speaks about what? It's the persona you're meant to adopt in this lifetime. Okay. All right. It also speaks about your career change. Okay. This read is going to be about the 11th house, because I told you it was they, them, and it's not just one person. It's a multitude of what? Chicken head and tree sloth. Okay. The energy of we use the Pythagorean grid, darling dears, which only goes from 1 to 9. So good golly and gosh, the 11 goes down to a 2, darling dears. So we're thinking about we've got moon energy, so we know the shade is being chucked at you, blood. It's being chucked at you. You may be a number 2 or life path 11, which goes down to a 2, or the numbers 2, 11, 20, 29. The letters B, K, and T is associated with the number 2. The number 2 is ruled by the new moon, and the moon rules Cancer and is associated with the letters B, K, and R. It tells me that you are an empath, darling. There's possibly even a heoka. You are a natural healer, and you are on your purpose. Why? Because the healing started with thyself, darling dears. This is why they are shoketh. This is why they are focused. This is why they are having mental breakdowns, darling dears. It also speaks about the balance that you had to bring back into your life, darling dears. The number 2 is represented by the astrological aspect of opposition. So this is circumstances outside of your control, darling dears. It speaks about attraction and separation. Yeah, you was attracted to them when you was on that low vibe. You know, that vibe that had you at the bottom of the pit? Right. Yes. And living in a mud hut with them. Yeah. You're saying, but you've never... Listen, I know you're not living in the middle of the Amazon. The reason why I say mud hut, look at P. Diddy's house, those mansions. Look what he was doing inside them. Didn't he not make them into mud huts? All right, then. Let's not have any more arguments about that, darling. Just because you know I'll fall out with you, right? I will fall out with you. And you don't know what I'm going to spring up with, darling dears, because I've got an armory round here. But don't tell anyone. I know you won't. Let's carry on with the energy of the 2, darling dears. The energy of the 2 is the opposite to the master number 11, darling dears. It speaks about you are a master illuminator. You inspire others. But in their case, you inspire them to hatred, jealousy, and fury. Good golly and gosh. It also speaks about you being the wounded healer, darling dears. Why? Because you have to go through some things in order to be able to speak with authority on some things, darling dears. And might I add, you don't look like what you've been going through. Many of you are natural teachers or actual teachers, darling dears. Um, um, it also speaks about what you continuing to shine your light, because you're here to bring balance. We are no longer here to wake up anyone to what's going on, darling dears. We did that, and what did they do? They ran us out of town, darling dears. After they gave it to us without the Vaseline. Anyhow, let's press on. So the energy of the 11th house, darling dears. Your career could be you could be a social worker, a counselor, darling dears, any kind of group work, community service, humanitarian, you, as I said, teaching is definitely part of the 11th house, darling dears. And it could be work that's connected to friends, or you've made friends within your working area. But at the end of the day, the energy of the 11, darling dears, is ruled by Uranus energy. Okay, and the 11 is Aquarius energy, ruled by Uranus, darling dears. But it used to be ruled by what? Saturn. So remember, you got the Saturn energy of what the rules and regulations. It's about responsibilities. It's also about limitations that were put on you when you were in these groups, darling dears, around these what? Low vibing tree sloth. I already told you. Don't let me get into the Tourette's, because there's no one to check me, boo. No offense if you have Tourette's, darling dears, but I'm talking about as I'm speaking to you, because this ain't communicative dance, blood. Okay, let's carry on, darling dears. So the energy of the moon. The moon speaks about what? Enemies, secrets, darling dears. Cheating. Maybe it was somebody that cheated on you, darling dears, and it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. It could be within a friendship. It could be within a family where there was deception indicated. The kind of family member that is your friend to your face, only to find out your business. But now they're all cut off from seeing exactly what's going on, darling dears, and they're extremely restless in their mud hut. They are all self-destructive, darling dears. There's something to do with a birth of a child. Somebody's pregnant. Either them or their progenies is pregnant at this moment in time. It's going to be a difficult birth. Again, this is again telling me again that it's a repeated cycle. You repeated many cycles with these people till you decided that you weren't staying on that madness making wheel. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So the energy of Uranus is some kind of sudden change, darling. There's something that was unavoidable that actually happened in your life. Uranus is also about lean in, bestie. Lean in. Oi, someone don't want me to talk. What's the matter with you? You can't stop me. I'm persistent, especially when I'm live. Uranus rules technology, darling dear, so you are being watched, and they are watching you with what? Fake identities. Some of you may even be coming into contact with these people. If you have a platform, if you have a website, they're using the fake identity so they can still have some way of being in contact with you, darling dears. Yes, yes, yes. All of this and that, darling dears. It's also about what? You having created some kind of innovation. You've created some kind of change. You are futuristic thinking, darling dears. Oh yes, and beware, darling dears, with the Uranus energy, you're going to get notification of a what? Major earthquake. Yes, baby, today. Okay, let's carry on, darling dears. It's because you are independent, right? You may have an issue with your ankles, or they've got something wrong with their ankles. Okay, it also speaks about somebody having some kind of x-ray, MRI. Okay, it could be on your ankles, other body parts. We also had the moon energy. The moon energy brings in your stomach, the breast, the spleen, the brain, the membrane. Yes, they want to come through, darling dears, but somebody's going to come through on the wings of sympathy. They want you to feel sorry for them, darling. Listen, I ain't got no more sorry left for no one, blood. I'm all sorried out, right with my F's. I have none to give. Because my hairline comes first. Let's get the oracle ancestral message around this foolishness, right? It's not your fault that they're shocked. They shouldn't be watching. They shouldn't. fell off the back end. But we also have this in the reverse, darling. There's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Someone doesn't like the rebirth of you, the Phoenix rising. The fire energy on its face, darling, is it's about what? No connection to their way shows and spiritual energy is represented by Archangel Michael. This also speaks about somebody who languished in drama, darling dears. It also speaks about something to do with their career. It's either it's not taking off, or it could also speak about job loss, darling dears. This also speaks about weak-minded cowards, darling. This is when we see the fire energy in the reverse. They lack in ambition. This is why they're shocked by what you've co-created for yourself in the name of the Most High. There's an issue with a cat, darling dears. Did you have a cat around them? Did they do something to your cat? Okay. Yeah. Oh, Watchtower of the Spring on its face, darling dears. Their spring hasn't sprung. Lean in, bestie. This is represented by air energy, darling dears. It also speaks about closed mind, darling dears. Closed minds always repeat cycles, yeah? They possibly even think they're the smartest person or people on this earth, which is a lie. It's a lie. Anyone that thinks that, you must arch your back and run away like Tinky Winky. They're a fool, and they want to keep you in foolishness, darling dears. We've also got the what? Incubation. So whatever they're doing, darling dears, it's about to what? Come out. Remember I told you that. Jealousy and envy and hate can't be held down, darling dears. They've had to go out and seek other people that are on a downward slope. Why? Because misery attracts company, darling dears. This is the recruitation. And as I said, somebody's about to have a difficult birth. I don't believe it's around you, darling dears. I believe it's the energy that's coming in, whether it's their progeny, their partner, but someone close to them is about to have a difficult birth. I can't make this up. All right. Base of the deck, darling dears. They need to put some respect on your name, darling dears. And it also speaks about candles being burned in your name in the background, at dark, darling dears. It also speaks about, this also looks like a globe. Somebody wants to keep you what? Stuck in a bubble, darling dears. The energy of the five, they thrive on the conflict and confusion that was in your life when you wasn't rebirthed, darling dears, reborn as the big cat you're meant to be. The energy of the five, darling dears, also speaks about the quantum changes that you've made in your life. It's about you being receptive to the new changes that are coming in. The energy of the five also speaks about your resourcefulness. It speaks about you having received life lessons from this person or people, the tree sloth. I already told you who it was. Yeah. It also speaks about some of you are going to be traveling over the next few days, darling dears. We already got a northwardly direction. But the North remembers. Come through Game of Thrones. Posh. Clap. They're angry. They're upset. Press pumped and perturbed. Their hairline must be blown back, darling dears. It must be. To be so concerned with you. You who likes to mind your own business and drink your water and hold your chair pose and take your sea moss. Rather be alone than unhappy. This is why you said no. This ain't for me. It ain't the one. Right? What did I say? You had to become obstreperous, darling dears. That means when you're noisy and difficult to handle. Not in the fact where you're shouting like a mad woman or man in the streets. No. You speak up for yourself, darling dears. And this is what you did. You told them the truth. It was like kryptonite on their skin, darling dears. It was. And it also speaks about what? Divination. They've been getting readings on you, darling dears. Maybe this is driving their mental illness. They need to stop with the readings, blood. What's this? Progeny old enough to see. They are the deadbeat. So if you've got progeny with this person, they know that the other parent is a deadbeat. Gosh. There's a lot of home truths being spoken here today, darling dears. Imagine that, knowing that you're a failure to your own progeny. I know there's some people that don't care, but I'm talking about the people that was actually made these progenies within a relationship. Or you understand? And then you have no care about those progenies. You don't care. Really? God will make you care. Because one day you're going to get old. Remember I told you that. What's this? What did I just say? They're living with consequences and ramifications. Consequences and ramifications. More of a man than they'll ever be, and more of a woman than they'll ever get. Listen, when you are handling the masculine and feminine vibe, darling dears, not only are protection provider of thine self, self-autonomy, right? You're also the nurturer of yourself. This is about you healing from the inside out. Base of the deck. Listen, they want you to look back like Lot's wife, Salt Bay, or maybe they're feeling like Salt Bay as they look back at what they allowed to slip through their fingers. Yes. They wanted you to be hiding in a tower like Quasimodo, right? When you are the red light, green light champion, as am I of 79. Fist bump. Red light, green light knows when to hold them, when to fold them, right? This is what it means, darling dears. You've learned the art of what? Knowing when to watch and when to act. But you're always acting in the name of the Most High. Now they see how badly they behave they see it, darling dears. They always see it, don't they? And they always like to come back like a fart lingering, darling dears. They like to come back around when they realize that they can't find another energy like yours, right? Law number 5, I split the deck. You saw me do it. Your reputation is everything. You better guard it with your everything. You go back and allow these tree stuff, bottom feeding, hood looking alfalfas with yarn for hair back into your existence, darling dears. You're asking for it, you're begging for it, right? You'll be the 5th person that goes down Bobby Brown. Remember I told you that. They haven't changed, darling dears. They're living like Lot's wife, a pillar of Salt Bay. You already had to create a halocene. What's that? That's when the 2 salt levels aren't the same, darling dears. So there's a barrier. Okay. So you made them angry, right? Jealous, and then drove them to fury. Let's get a deck. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to use should I use the gold deck? All because you walked away from the trauma and the drama. It wasn't for you, darling dears. It was not. 'Twasn't, right? You've got a waxing gibbonous moon in the background, darling dears. It speaks about the day you chose to walk away or to stand up for yourself, darling dears. The universe took a hold, right, and created momentum. Gave you the energy and realized that your emotions are your own. It doesn't matter what anyone did, darling dears. It's whether you want to take on the trauma and live within the drama that they created. You chose not to. You wrapped yourself in that red cloak of wisdom, darling dears, and headed out to the unknown. Even though we see mountains, yeah, but it's also the shade, darling dears. All of it was the fear of the unknown that you had to overcome in order to be the baddest of them all. Never you ever downgrade if you are a lone cat. Some people say lone wolf, but this is the big cat's channel. When you're a lone wolf, darling dears, no one can do nothing. They can't tell you nothing. You've got all of that free time to learn as much as you want. Be all that you can be. And always, always choose to help and be of assistance. And I'm not talking about to those that try to bring you down, Bobby Brown. We are not waking anyone up anymore. But if you recognize the energy of a cat chucking out a Mayday, darling dears, you will help because you are full of wisdom and guidance. Energy of the cups also speaks about relationships, darling dears. Relationships. You may have been in the situation for up to 8 years. Okay, why are they mad? Ho-hum. Okay, no, the first one was, why are they so shocked? Why are they shocked? Oh, that was very accommodating. It was, rather be alone than unhappy. Yeah, shocked and bitter, darling dears. It also speaks about someone who was domineering. This is also someone who was mentally manipulative. As I said, there was a friend to your face and to your back. Every one of your chakras were vulnerable, darling dears. They're a back, front, neck tabber. And in some cases, you realize that they're a front tabber. I think those are the worst, darling dears. Those that pretend to be your friend. Look at the Justice card in the reverse. Justice speaks about Libra energy. It represents Libra, the 7th house, darling dears. These are no friends, darling dears. In the upright, this is open enemies. They always hid their true nature around you, darling dears. Yes, they did. Both of them have a sword, but it's also a choice. 2 of swords. They chose to treat you like this or that or whatever they done did, darling dears. They chose to do that shit, and now they want to cry wolf. Listen, They need in Jamaica we would say they need to have their face cleaned off with a box. No, not a cardboard box. I'm talking about a gladiator box. You know the ones that look from a hand that you know them hands that look like they've been used. They use sandpaper on them instead of a hand cream. They want their face cleaned off with a box. Yeah, how dare they? They dare. They want to come through and play victim, darling dears. All for the choices that they made. Justice energy. This is in the upright. Justice is karma, darling dears. In the reverse, this is dharma. You walking away from that circumstance or situation gave you good dharma. Why? The universe was there to meet you halfway. We already discussed the waxing moon, darling dears, building momentum. Yes, don't take that cup of opium. Going from the 5 to the 4. It's the countdown to something. Something big is coming towards you. You're about to be blessed again by the universe. Remember I told you that, 6 of Pentacles. They always felt like they were better than you, darling dears. They were emotionally confusing. In the public, darling dears, they withheld all of those emotions as far as you was concerned. But yet they've got the time to watch and wonder what you're doing and get furious about your life. Bitter and twisted. What did I just say? They talking it up. When we see 2 queens on the tableau, darling dears, you know the gossip and slander is afoot. You don't need to wonder. You don't need to get a card. Nothing. It's afoot, darling dears. But you shock them. You shock them, darling dears. You shock them by what? Healing and moving on. Star card, Aquarius energy. Where are we not in the 11th house, darling dears? You moved on. Some of you moved on in silence. Some of you have actually moved on. It could be moving to a different country, a different area. But you're somewhere that is not easily accessible to them, darling dears. The Justice card could also represent the postal service. They cannot. In the words of Jocelyn Hernandez, first class, they cannot contact you easily, darling dears. Maybe you block them. Well, if you did, they deserve that shit, blood. And now they're crying into their fists. Cry they must. Cry they must. Nobody cried for you, darling dears. They must live amongst the what? The consequences and ramifications. Made them jealous, darling dears, because you was not engaging with whatever fucking they had on the tableau, darling dears, whether it was arguing, the back and forth of the texting, finding other people to recruit, to believe what you said. Listen, if your whole idea now, 4 of Swords, is believe whatever the F you like, right? Because they want to judge your abilities, your gifts, and your skills the same way they'll judge a fish's ability to climb a tree. I know, bestie. I know. Base of the deck, darling dears. You had to what? Think about yourself. You had to ask yourself over and over, is it really worth me allowing myself to be hurt like this? Am I not my keeper? You didn't want, see, this goes to 7 of Swords. You did not want to keep lying to yourself in order to keep this friendship group. It could be family members. The 11th house is represented by siblings, stepchildren, people that you see as family, even adopted people. Yeah. And now they got the bloody cheek to be in regret, darling dears. But the regret is not because of what they did to you, darling dears. The regret is because they're not there to take some of your shine. Yes. Take some of your shine. I can't make it up. Moon energy, darling dears. They would like to be around to plant those little peckles of fucking blood. If you've got a new job, a new home, a new car, or a new idea, maybe it's a workout program, whatever it is, they would have been there to what? Put holes in your boat. They wanted your ship to stop sailing, darling dears. They're not very nice. This is why you had to, the cards ain't playing. People lie, the cards don't. You leaving that situation was the best thing you could ever do. Was we not just talking about this waxing gibbonous moon? The universe was waiting for you to wake up, darling dears. Wake up to your divinity, realize, and make you realize that you don't have to beg God outside of yourself. God is inside each and every one of us. And you had to what? Go and seek that ninth cup. The ninth cup you found within. And now they want to listen. Page of Cups, you know, this is a liar. And it speaks about that pregnancy. I told you, there's somebody in their hemisphere is about to go for a difficult birth, darling dears. A very difficult birth. Why is the birth going to be so difficult? Just asking, like we're here. Oh, because it's not been a healthy pregnancy, darling dears. It could have been through lack of money, destabilization, displacement. Yes, mental health issues. Things ain't working out. Listen, there was a lot of derogatory factors. But every child is a blessing, darling dears. But they're not happy about this pregnancy. 9 of Cups. Their 9th cup is in the reverse. They're not happy because they're still too focused on you, darling dear, on your world, what you got going on. They feel as though they've got unfinished business. And if you think they ain't watching you, and you on, some of you think you're so sneaky that where you are, because you're a big cat. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it, darling dear? But you think that you can stay, the only way you're going to stay hidden is if you live off grid, darling dears, and you don't use no internet. I was thinking about that with no internet. My whole body just went still then. I don't know. Because listen, let me show you something. I've got boxes of these all around my house. So if ever the electricity should go down, I've got about 8 of these. Are solar panels, blood. You think I'm joking? I'm a big cat. I'm always prepared. Always prepared. You are always prepared, darling dears. Always have a plan B. Even though you don't intend to use the plan B, darling dears, you are working on your plan A, right? Focused, yeah? Moving towards your goals. Have a backup plan. If the lights go out, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Look what I've got on my window ledge in every room. This is a torch. It's a solar panel torch. And if there's no light, I can crank it up at the back. I will always see, blood. Don't let me get my cooker out, right? All I've got to do is go and chop some wood, right? Listen, always be prepared, bestie. Always be prepared. That's just a few. Oh, dare I show you this? Hold on a minute. I've got so many things within reach. My medical kit. I can do a little bit of surgery. Almost. Right? What else have I got here? These are just a few things I've got to hand. I've got numerous of these. Walkie-talkies, darling dears. Walkie-talkie. You need these things. Always be prepared. Right? I've been telling you. If I go anywhere, I've got this to take with me. If I'm thirsty, I'm going to drink the water, blood, but I'm going to drink it through my water filtration system. I'm not going to go through everything that I've got here because there's a lot of stuff. But let me tell you something. If I tell you that I'm coming to get you, right, you know that I can come for you off grid, right? Always be prepared. They would rather cut out their own tongue, darling dears, and call you a mad man or woman than give you the respect, the just deserts. Why? For what you overcame. All you do is drive them to fury. What's this? All because they don't have no access to you. Virgo energy is also about you taking care of your health and well-being. You also have some form of travel or some kind of a message coming towards you, darling dears. Listen, it don't look good. This is Strength card in reverse. This is drama.com, darling dears. This is a situation that will make you what? Come off your flip-flops, your common sense. Don't do it, blood. 7 of Swords, we just discussed that, but now it's in the reverse. It's telling you and reminding you to think clearly, because these are desperate people, darling dears, or person. They have nothing to lose. Let's examine this divination. Always be prepared, bestie. Always be prepared, right? I've been showing you this of late. There's so many. You need to know what plants you can use outside for your own antibiotics to heal inflammation. You need to know these things. You can't just be just focused on paying the bills, darling dears. You're getting great anyway, but you understand what I'm saying. As a big cat, you have to have a worldly knowledge, not know everything, because nobody knows everything. But you have to have things that you can help yourself with. Do you have something that can light a fire? Do you? Do you have one of those all-weather lighters? Or are you going to be out there rubbing two sticks together? Huh? What are you going to do? Because you can't come to my house. I've got progeny to look after. Yeah. But anyway, let's press on. Let's press on. Divination. So they got readings on you, darling dears. Look at this, darling dears. And it's been multiple. More than the one. Knight of Swords. This is a lot of information coming in quickly. What did they find out when they got the divination on the big cat? Why they've been driven to fury. What did they find out? What did they find out? Whatever they found out, darling dears, it made them look at their own situation. Devil energy is also low vibing reverse root chakra. It could also speak about hedonistic life. It speaks about lies. It speaks about control, darling dears. They wanted to find some way to control your situation. And the devil card also speaks about jealousy, darling dears, because they don't like the fact that you're happy. This is why they got the divination, to find out if they can get a foothold back on your life, get you reined in, darling dears. You're running like Free Willy out there in them streets, Queen of Swords, and you're smart. They don't like it. You was able to what? Solve an issue. You make everything look easy. And the Queen of Swords reminds you of what? Law number 9. You've been winning through your actions, not your words. They don't like, they know that they're blocked, darling dears. But they also know that you're unique and you're different. Seven of Wands, darling dears. Split the deck. They know that you're gone. Why they keep doing this to themselves for? What they keep looking for? I wouldn't look. I'd cover my eye. If something made me furious, made my heart go boom diddy boom, and it's something outside of me, something that I've said I'm not going back for all the tea in China, I don't care. But they care about, they haven't forgotten you, dear. They haven't. They're looking at your wallet. They're looking at how you're raising your progeny, darling dears. Yeah, current energy. They're looking at you, looking at them, looking at you. Yeah, they know that you're learning. Queen of Pentacles. This is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo energy. Okay, so learn it. You could have a business. You could be buying and selling, cooking. It could be public speaking. You could be singing. You could be a teacher, as I said from before. With the Virgo energy, darling dears, you could be an accountant. Having something to do with money. You could be a critic, movie or play. And the 6th house is also what? A healer. Emotional, mental, and spiritual, darling dears. You could be a government worker, working at the prison service, whatever it is, darling dears. They know that you're happy. Why would they want to torment themselves like that? Why won't they stop it if it's not going the way? And they were just looking to see if they could control the situation. They can't control nothing. Look what was on top. When God say yes, who can say no, darling dears? You are definitely a teacher or a mentor, but you have to remember the energy of what? The 2 down to 11 down to a 2. You have to share these things. It's part of your life purpose, darling dears. You can't have this new level of knowledge and wisdom and not share it by any means necessary. I just heard voluntary work. You could be volunteering, helping out those less fortunate. Why not, darling dears? And if you are, it's not something that you need to put out there. If you're doing this work, it's your business between you and God. What did I say? You're a healer. You may even be a reader, darling dears. Whatever you're doing, they mad. Yeah. Unbalanced, darling dears. Their finances, their emotions, their relationships. These are unhappy people looking for someone else to be unhappy with, darling dears. And look, we've got the Temperance twice. 2 different decks, darling dears. No spiritual protection, no discernment, darling dears. Extremely destructive, chaotic energy, darling dears. They feel extremely out of control. They shouldn't have got the reading. They shouldn't have done it. If they had any intuition, the intuition would have told them not to get the reading. But if they had any intuition, the intuition would have told them that you shouldn't have done that to the big cat. You shouldn't. And that's the true proof. Pinky is up. I love it. The cards just line up. It's like music. Music, darling dears. You're single and independent, listening to the Most High, the God spark from within, darling dears. You will soon, we already saw the Queen of Peace, didn't we, in the upright. But then on to the Empress. They heard that you have a bright future ahead of you, darling dears. The archway speaks about the opportunities, the gateways, the promotions, the portals that are coming towards you, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. Yeah, you may have been feeling heavy energy, but it's them sending that energy towards you because they know that you was born to win. They know that you are bad alone, darling dears. They know that you went through something, but these injuries gave you what? The badass alchemist ways, darling dears. That reading practically told them that you can turn water into wine. It's dummy bats. Dummy bat. Let's get a gypsy on this. Look, whenever the elastic band breaks, remember, whatever was sent your way, darling dears, the energy has been broken. I told you, you are protected, you are guided, but you have to share what you've learned. You can't keep it to yourself. Some of you are shy with public speaking. Find another way. Find another way. If you've acquired new skills, darling, there's a new level. Go and help out someone else. There's lots of charities where you can volunteer their skills. There's lots of women shelters. You can do it, darling dears. You can do it. Find that within you. Help through service to others. I didn't say doormat. And I didn't say bend over without the Vaseline. This ain't Diddy here. No Diddy. No, take that. No. Okay. You've got the Ace of Wands, darling. This is about being spiritual guidance. It also speaks about what? Continue to make this effort and continue to work to your what? Highest potential. This is about new power and energy being gifted to you. You're going to get a new level of what? Growth. This is all part of your spiritual journey, darling dears. You were sent here to motivate others, darling dears, to take a risk, to step outside their box, darling dears, and find a new direction. They don't have to stand there in caution, darling dears. And it also represents what? An X marks the spot, darling dears. Somebody's looking for something. Have you misplaced something? Okay, because the clubs is fire energy. Okay, if you've misplaced something you've been looking for sometimes, you're going to find it at middle height. It's near a wall or by where there's a fire, near a wall where there's a fire, or a heat source. Near to something made of iron and steel. So I'm thinking it could be near, like you can have those fires in your house or in the kitchen or in the front room. You know those log fires or those fake fires. Somebody's lost something, darling dears. This is where you'll find it at middle height next to a wall or by fire near a heat source. Something made by metal or steel. That's where you'll find what you're looking for. Okay. Listen. You're wondering, but Case, you've never pulled that out. Listen, I told you, everything changed for me at the new moon in Aries. Everything changed for me. My dreams have changed. My ideas have changed. I've changed my eating habits and my patterns. Even my sleep has changed, darling dears. I'm good on 4 hours, and then after that, everybody better watch out, mate, because you know I'm a keyboard gangster, avid reader. But anyway, you've got the 6 of Wands as well. This goes to the 7. And again, this speaks of what? Your spiritual protection. We've also got what? What's this? Is that a chicken in the corner? It looks like a chicken in the corner being struck by lightning blood. Doesn't it look like that to you? A headless chicken. what? The lightning is about what? A disagreeable disturbance, darling dears. I told you they've been driven to fury by whatever you've got going on, because they can't help but watch. Someone is also sexually attracted to you, darling dears. We've also got what? The Three of Hearts. This is like the Three of Cups, darling dears. It's a group of people. We've also got a number one. Yeah, you are a number one, right? There is no big three. There's only big you. Come through, Kendrick Lamar. Push, clap, yeah. There's no big three for you. We've got the Nine of Diamonds. This is about success, darling dears. Success, a change in your healthy habits, but it's also the fruition of a situation. The 3 and the 9 goes down to a 12, which is a 3, darling dears. Empress energy, again, nurturing of yourself, darling dears. They expected your heart to be broken. They expected your heart to beat for them, darling dears. And again, we have got the 2 of Wands. My, how things have changed. You ain't that same person. You ain't got that level of energy to give them, darling dears. There was always a stumbling block in your way. King of Pentacles is someone that took a risk, darling dears. I said the king, but it's a... You gave them more status than they actually deserve, darling dears. You was calling them a king or a queen when they're nothing but a page. Pwah! If that's not your progeny, a page, right? A page of Pentacles. This is someone who is an opportunist, somebody who needs a hand up, right? 5 of Wands. Leave them where they are, darling dears. You are on change, and now we've got the Master number 33. This speaks about you, what? Being in Master manifestation mode. I said you've got the badass alchemist ways, darling dears. The energy of the 33 is, again, reiterating that you are a spiritual teacher. Your experiences, right? Your skills, whatever it is, darling dears, you've got to get out there and start sharing them. You could volunteer. You could start your own charity, darling dears, and offer these skills. Listen, this ain't the time for you to be in confusion. Every one of us big cats are unique, and how we carry ourselves, the way we learn, retain information, darling dears, and how you rebuild yourself. You've got to tell other people about this. This is not about waking people up, darling dears. This is you showing people what happens when you choose you. 3 of Wands, darling dears. They're coming towards you, but it's also about your back being turned on that situation that brought you to a crossroads. We've also got a sunrise or a sunset. Either way, it's going to be a new beginning in ideas. The house speaks about the security and foundation that you're going to create for yourself, darling dears. Is that not a big cat? On the energy of the 5 and the 1, the 6, new harmony in your life, darling dears. You're going to get some form of prestige. But you have to what? Share your experiences, darling dears, your testimonies, volunteer your services, whatever service you have. You can get a job that's pro bono, a few hours a week, helping out someone else. Don't worry about what they saw. Whatever they saw, their heart is going boom diddy boom, and their hairline is blown back. A full-on reverse friar tuck. Are we going to leave it there? Are we done here? No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking the cards because I can feel... Okay. My right hand got warm just then. What does it say? Step out of your comfort zone. And again, we have the North Node. As we began to read, so shall we finish. Find where your North Node is, darling dears. As I've told you many times, your birth natal chart is the most important document that you will ever find. But remember, the best chart on your life is in the palm of your hands, darling dears. You might be getting into palmistry. On that note, I drops me mic. Todd love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks. Please don't forget to thumbs it up, darling dears. There's 89 of you here and only 41 likes. What's going on? Don't forget to thumbs it up, darling dears. Like, subscribe, and share these messages with whomsoever you feel needs it. And as I always say, don't get smoked. Let them be what? Shooketh, darling dears. Let them be jealous. Let them be furious. Because they're wasting their energy where you are putting your energy to the light, darling dears. And this is not about nah. You know what's right and what's best for you. And remember, when you was dressing like Quasimodo's bestie, barking at passing cars, blood, and at this door, what were they doing? Exactly. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.